Hi, my name is Philippe Rolet and I'm the estate manager of CARO wineries in Mendoza. CARO is an association between two big families, Rothschild from France and Catena from Argentina. They started the project in 2000 and the idea was to join, to combine their expertise. To make it simple, in the joint venture, Rothschild brought its expertise in Cabernet Sauvignon and also aging of wine, while Catena brought his knowledge in the terroir of Mendoza and also in Malbec. The project started in 2000, and in 2003 we bought an old winery within the city center of Mendoza, which was completely restored ever since. It's a winery that was built in 1884. It has really a soul, as you can feel it. We are here in the underground cellars of the winery, and the winery, which is a dose from this, also hosts a visitor center, an art and convention center, and which are on top of us, and also if you have a chance to visit Mendoza, Malman restaurant. Malman is next door. Is probably the most famous Argentinian chef today. So today we are going to present this. I'm going to present this Aruma 2018. This is Malbec. Malbec from Argentina differs from Malbec from the rest of the world. Basically, in 1853, there was a guy very important in Argentina, which is Sarmiento, which will going to be the next president. He was in exile at that time in Chile, and he wanted to develop the zone of Mendoza, which was semi-desertic. So at that time, he met a French agronomist, which name was Puget, and offered him to come in Mendoza and study what could be planted. When he came here, he brought some vines from France, and those vines were prephyloxeric because they were taken from vineyard in France in 1851. And basically what we had after that is generation of viticulturists in Mendoza making its own selection of Malbec. So basically in Mendoza, in Argentina, we've got our own selection of Malbec, which differ from the rest of the world. In France, there's another one, and basically, and other part of the world also. And basically, when we compare the leaves, the grapes of our specific selection adapted to our terroir in Mendoza, it's different from the rest. There's not even brother, I would say they are probably more cousins. So this is a specific Argentinian selection of Malbec that was produced in altitude. All vineyards of Mendoza are over almost 2,000 feet of altitude. In this case, all our vineyards from Uco Valley are over 3,000 feet. And altitude is here very important for one thing. Basically, at night, we've got cold winds that are going down from the Andes, and basically, the higher you are, the colder are the winds. So this helps us to keep a lot of acidity, a good freshness in the wine. So this is also the name of Aruma, which means power of the night for this, basically for the freshness of the night. The other thing, which is very important in Mendoza, is altitude. When you are in altitude, you have more solar radiation, and basically that's the same as when you go into mountains, your skin are burning. Well, in this case, that's almost the same. The solar radiation are quite aggressive for the berries, for the grapes, for the vines, and the vines will try to protect what is more important for it, which is the seeds, which is the way they can reproduce themselves and not die. So basically, with more radial installation, the berry was protecting the seed with making a thicker skin on the berry, and with this, you know that in red wines, all the good components, flavor, tannins, and color are within the seed. So if you have a thicker skin, we have more components. That allows us to keep this wine. It's another particularity. It's one of the single Malbec from Argentina that you will find on the market, which is absolutely unoaked. We have so many concentration from the berry that we don't need to age it in oak. And our intention with this wine is really to keep the freshness and to grab the fruit of the pure Malbec from Argentina. In this case, 2018 was a quite warm vintage, but we had a lot of differences of temperature night and day, so we kept a lot of freshness. And I invite you to taste this wine It shows probably more than any other vintage or the last vintage we made, a lot of flowers. This is typical from the vintage and also typical for the zone of production, which is Altamira in Valle de Uco. So, cheers.